Hello learners, welcome to my channel Lightup Knowledge and welcome to today's video. Today we will study from the basic to advanced of personification, a figure of speech. I have a separate playlist of literary forms, figures of speech and literary movements, the link of which will be given in the description box. Now without any further ado, let's get started, and yes, please consider liking if you find it useful. So let's jump right in. The word personification in English language, which is a figure of speech, is derived from a Greek term known as prosopopoeia, which has two meanings. The first one is it is a figure of speech in which an abstract thing is personified, right? And the second is it is a figure of speech in which an imagined absent or a dead person or a thing is represented as speaking. So personification has two deep meanings in this sense. Let us understand what personification is. Personification is a figure of speech in which either an inanimate objects are those objects that does not have life, or an abstract notion. What is abstract notion? So abstract notion is some thought that is just existing in your brain, okay, and it does not have any physical or concrete existence that way, okay. And two things are spoken of, either an inanimate object or an abstract notion, okay. It's being talked about, and it is endowed with, means it is given life, it is provided life of human attributes of feeling, okay. There are some attributes and feelings that are specifically human centered, okay. And in personification, what do? We take that inanimate objects and endow them with life to add to certain effects and call it as a figure of speech, okay. If we look into this example, okay, let's read it. Then land, then England, oh the frosty cliffs looked down upon me. Okay, here you may imagine a criminal, okay. Maybe he has done a very bad deed and he is very shameless of whatever that he has done, and he is saying that everything in his country or in his place is making him look down upon, okay, and is not respecting him because something that he has done. So then land, so land is personified, England is personified, okay. And frosty cliffs, precipice is also personified. So to what attribute that it is personifying is looking down upon, means disrespecting. So therefore here three things are personified: land, because it cannot look down upon; England as a country cannot look down upon; and frosty cliffs also cannot look down upon. So therefore these three things are personified here. Let's talk about some features of personification. The feature number one is, in personification, inanimate objects and abstract notion are spoken of as a living person. So what do we do in personification? We personify inanimate objects, lifeless objects, and abstract notions, which are existing in thoughts but it does not have any physical or concrete form, okay. Number two is, it is akin to metaphor. Akin means similar in character, so it has some similarities with metaphor. Personification has some similar characters with metaphor. So metaphors and personification both use comparison, okay. But personification applies human qualities to animals and non-living things, okay. Whereas in metaphor, it tells the qualities of a living object too, right. It uses comparison without using like or as, like we do in simile, like or as. So number three is, it is the attribution of human sensibility to an abstraction or an inanimate object. So human sensibility means senses that are experienced by humans. So those experience by the use of speech, it is given to it is provided to an inanimate objects, okay. To what is the basic purpose of giving such qualities or endowing such qualities to to an inanimate object, lifeless object, dead? What is the chief purpose? What is the poet trying to achieve behind using a figure of speech called as personification, okay. So the poet is endowing intelligence, gifting personality, okay. And he is gifting that intelligence, that personality to whom? to an inanimate objects, okay, to a lifeless object, okay, to give a proper shape to, shape to, or a character to that inanimate object that he is trying to personify. So therefore inanimate objects, to give them an impression. And what is that impression? That impression is the impression of looking lively, okay, the impression as if they are living beings. I hope you understood till here. Have comprehensions of some examples containing personification. The first one is the wind howled in the sky. Now, living beings such as dogs and wolves howl. Here, howling is attributed to wind, which is inanimate, right? So, the sound of wind, when you deeply observe, sounds as if it were howling, but that is an attribute of a living object, right? So, therefore, the poet draws our attention beautifully by using personification here. Let's observe this girl in the picture. If you observe it, you will feel that she's looking anxious about something. So here we can say that anxiety is sitting on her face. So anxiety is personified here. It means that it is clear that she's looking worried about something, and humans can feel anxiety that way, right? Anxiety is an emotion, okay? It is an abstract notion, and therefore it is an example of personification. Third example is Everest is the king of mountains. In this example, Everest is personified, right? Basically, king could be a human, but here Everest is personified as the king of mountains, which means the most huge, giant, and lofty of all mountains. What do we do when we have to be at the other side of the door? Yes, you guessed it right. We knock it. So, opportunity cannot knock a door. So, here, opportunity is personified, which means that you only get one chance to prove yourself in life, and you must try definitely to endure that opportunity that you get in life. So, therefore, here, opportunity is personified. And the last example is love is blind. So we see love as an emotion. Ask yourself, can an abstract notion be blind? Of course not. It can't be. So it is an example of personification. So love as an emotion cannot be blind, but it is personified here. Okay. So this example brings an end to today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And you can also see the links of some videos given in the description box. Bye bye. Love you all.